Backing up and restoring a Cisco 2600 router configuration. In this short clip, I'm going to show you how to back up and restore your router's configuration to and from a TFTP server. My name is Kennard. So, our current lab setup is that we have a TFTP server running on my local machine. I have a console session to my router. So, let's go ahead. Okay, as you'll see or figured out, I am not Cisco certified. So I'm just making this video basically to see where I'm at as I continue to pursue my CCNA. So first thing we need to do is that we need to get into the router. Now we basically need to go into privilege mode whenever we need to make any configurations to our router. So I'm going to type in enable. It's going to prompt me for my password. I'm going to put in my password. Now what we need to do is to look at our current configuration, and we do this by entering in the command show ru. Alright, so there we have it, our router configuration. So it's basically very simple. Right now I do not have any much configuration, I should say, currently on my router, but it is ready and we will be able to carry out this lab. Okay, so remember our objective is to copy all this configuration we're looking at to the TFTP server and wipe our router's configuration clean. So we're going to go back to, the first power up, as they would say, and then we're going to basically restore our configuration. So let's begin. So first thing we need to do is to enter in the command copy startup config TFTP. It is now going to prompt us for the address of the remote host, or should I say the TFTP server. So on my network, our TFTP server is 192.168.2.1. It's gonna ask us, hey, the destination file we're gonna be putting is your startup config. Is that what you want? Yup. So right now what it's gonna do is to go out and try to contact the TFTP server. Alright, seems as if we're having some difficulties. Let's see what's really happening. Okay, so we see that we're accepting requests and we're not getting. Okay, so basically we're gonna get an error. Why is that? So I fat fingered this guy when I was putting it in and actually put in the router's address. Right, so I need to put in the IP address of the TFTP server. So what I'm going to do is bring back my last set of commands. And I'm going to specify my host once again. And our file name is going to be startup config. And now we should have no problem contacting our TFTP server. And there you go. So our configuration has been successfully copied. Our next procedure will be to clear our startup configuration. But before we clear it, let's go ahead and have a look at our startup configuration. So we're going to enter in the command show startup config, and there you go. So it's basically what we saw in our current configuration as we did earlier. Right, so what we're going to do now is to erase our startup config. We're going to enter in erase. startup config. It's going to ask us to confirm, as we'll be clearing our non-volatile RAM. And this is basically going to erase all the settings that your router would regularly boot from. Alright, and there it is complete. So now if we were to enter in the command to show our startup config, it's gone. Alright, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to restart our router. So enter in the command reload. It's going to ask us to confirm once again. Okay, and now the reload request has been granted, and our 2600 router is being restarted. Alright, so the image is being decompressed and it's going to take a while. After which it's going to ask us some prompts. So basically some basic settings if we wanted to configure our router. However, what we want to do is to just get our router up clean and basically restore configurations. Alrighty, so she's almost here. Memory in my router. Okay, so here is our first prompt. Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? We're going to answer no to that. And also, would you like to terminate auto install? Yes, we do not want our router to get any default settings. So we're going to basically exit that. Okay, so here we are back to our router, and she is like new. Okay, as you can see, all our ports, both Ethernet and serial, are currently shut down.